Good afternoon, class. In class today, we went over this. I don't want you to forget, but a lot of you guys got really confused, and we didn't have a lot of time because it was a short class today. But what I want you to remember is we looked at factored form and standard form. So let's go ahead and do that again. I'm just going to do the first one with you, right? This is called factoring using the Xbox, but you know what? If you want to call it the Xbox 360, why not? We can have a little bit of fun. Math is more fun when you make it fun. So we can call it the Xbox 360. Why not? Okay, so we need the standard form and the factored form. So let's go ahead and just start with what I like to call the factored form. Meaning, let's pull out what we have in here, okay? So let's go and start with this top part first. What do we notice in each box? This term has an X, and this term has an X, okay? Ex-girlfriend. Each one of them has at least one ex-girlfriend, so we can pull out an X because that's a common factor. Fancy that. Let's go ahead and look at these guys. We have a 2X and then we have an 8. Well, this guy has an ex-girlfriend, but this one doesn't. So what else do we have in common? They don't have any X's in common. They have, okay, if you're saying, hey, look, they have a 2 in common, that's absolutely correct. All right, good. Now, we have an X already pulled out of here, but what else do we have in here? Ooh, we can pull out another X. That is correct, because this has an X and this has an X, right? Do you see that? That's an X times a 2 gets us a 2X. So if we pull the 2 out already and the 2's gone, what's left? Just his ex-girlfriend, 1 X left, okay? And we continue on. If there's a 4X here, but we pulled the X out already, what's left? Just a 4. Okay, so we have a 4, and if we pull that X out, then we know that there's a 4, and let's make sure this works, because if we pull the 4 out of this 8, what's left? There's a 2. Does 2 times 4 equal 8? The answer is yes. There are no negatives. Okay, you need to ask yourself, are there any negatives? Are there any negatives at all? The answer is no. If there's nothing negative, that means that they're all positive, right? Ooh, imagine that. All right, so what do we have on the top? We have our X plus 2. Make sure you put that in parentheses because that is a term. Then you have an X plus 4. Okay, X plus 4. Make sure you put that in parentheses because we have a term, all right? Now, this is indeed what we have here in this box. We're going to go ahead and call this, is this factored form or standard form? Somebody tell me. Well, because it is indeed factored, we're going to call this the factored form. F-A-C-T-O-R, form, F-O-R-M, okay? What is the standard form? Well, the standard form is basically the area model. Remember that? What do we have inside the box? Well, we have an X squared. Can we combine that with anybody? Nope, he's by himself, okay? So we know we have an X squared. Squared. What's left? Well, we have a 4X and then we have a 2X. Hey, wait a minute. Ex-girlfriend and ex-girlfriend. We can add them up, and a 4 plus 2 is 6. Let's keep the same color. Call that 6. 6 what? 6 what? 6X. And what's left? 8 plus 8. And we're going to call this the standard form. Okay? Those are the two things. That's how